Please be advised that everything in my video is purely for entertainment purposes. These are purely my thoughts and opinions and are subjective. I must advise you to please do your own research. All media users found on the public domain and are fair use and fair dealings. Hey you guys, it's another hot one here in the UK. So those of you that saw my video I posted yesterday, just a cheeky one to show you how it went. I couldn't be happier. Today was my first day alone with the two dogs because my husband took a couple of days off of work. They're so in tune with each other. We've only had one or two grumbles. Leela keeps trying to mount Lucia. I know it's a sign of dominance. So basically she's trying to say, I'm boss. Lucia's having none of it and quickly kind of get off. I suppose the same as you and I would. I mean, if I had some woman come up to me and try and mount me, she's going to get a quick poof in the face. So other than that, it's going well. There was a tiny incident this morning. Leela has a favourite toy and Lucia decided she wanted that toy, and this is exactly what I can imagine what parents have to deal with their children. Kids always want what the other child's got. So but other than that, there's been no aggression. They're very, very passive. My husband and I slept in our bed last night and left them downstairs in the same room. No dramas. One was asleep one end of the sofa, which would be Leela, and Lucia was in Leela's favourite bed, but there was no squabbles in the night and it's going well. I've just come back from a bit of a walk, so I'm a bit but yeah, this best decision I've made so far. I was so nervous. I slept like the dead last night, I think because subconsciously my brain's been like, oh, what if they don't like each other? But so far so good, so I'll keep you updated. I have officially lost a full stone now. Yay! Couldn't believe it. But one of the it's irritated me. Well, not irritated me. I don't let trolls get to me. But I posted that video last night talking about the dogs and how they met. And one of the rude comments that came up, because I said I was putting Leela in with her dog walker for one night, just so we could settle Lucia in, came back with this really sarky comment saying, well, if you actually walked your dog yourself, then you would lose weight. And I thought, you just said what? Come in my living room and tell me that. So I've just lost a stone, so to you. But people are just vicious, aren't they? I, honest to God, having been doing this for a year now, I don't care what people say about me anymore, because it's been a learning process and it sometimes can be tough. You can sometimes see cruel things, but as soon as I start seeing anything gobby, I just don't read it. They're nothing to me. They're keyboard warriors. I'm sure most of you on social media, you get people. Don't engage with them. Block them straight away. You cannot reason with stupid. And you've also got the professional trolls that are nasty to you, and they go on to the next person and be nasty to them. And this is their life. This is their sad little life. So just ignore them. Anyway, let's talk about something super, super, super happy. Princess Beatrice. Well, that did take me by surprise. She got married in secret Friday morning. No one knew about it. Now, there's been lots of reasons why it was kept under the radar. Some people have said it's because of her father. I don't know if that name's still blocked on YouTube. But because of his antics, and it could have drew negative attention. Well, it still did anyway. Even though this was her wedding day, newspapers were running stories on him, on Mr. E, who accidentally, on purpose, himself. And then what makes it worse? They ran stories on Dara, Edo's ex. I think it's Dara Huang. She is a very, very beautiful woman. She is a successful architect. She spends she's American as well, so she spends a lot of her time in America. There's no denying she is beautiful. They share a son together, and why are you running stories on her now, on Beatrice's wedding day? I mean, for God's sake, you've done that before. We've read about her before. And then you had other stories of people going, oh yeah, Edo's a cad, Edo's this, he's going to hurt her. It's her wedding day. It's their wedding day. Have a day off. Have a day off with your mean, nasty comments. Now, I'm just going to quickly say this about Edo. I did say it before. Yes, he does have a child from a previous relationship. His name is not Wolfie, his nickname is Wolfie. He's actually called Christopher for people laying into him for that. Edo and Beatrice and Eugenie have known each other since childhood because the Yorks are friends with Edo's parents. I have found pictures, I couldn't find them in time to do this video, but there are pictures from before Edo meeting his ex-partner and having his son, where he's hanging around with Princess Eugenie. So they've known each other for years. So he's not like a certain snake who, I shall say, stalked her prey and is after one thing and one thing only. He's very successful in his own right. He owns his own sort of multi-million-pound company. He's into property development. His ex, Tiara, I believe she's an architect, architectural design. Now, what I've actually read on this couple was they were together, they lived together, it wasn't working out, long distance, she's in America a lot, he was in the UK, so they decided to break up. She found out she was pregnant, they decided to do the decent thing, which a lot of people do, and they tried to make it work for the sake of the baby. Now, if they were already broken up and cracks appear in relationships, not very often a baby will bring you together. Often a baby, because they are stressful, they will then make that crack become like the Grand Canyon. So then they decided to mutually break up. Tiara has been friendly with Beatrice. She has no problem with them being married. She was actually on the wedding guest list. He has regular contact with his son and they just seem to be co-parenting perfectly. So for everyone laying into him, I just think, just be happy for them. They're in love. Beatrice deserves happiness after everything she's gone through. Her entire wedding was almost like it was marked, wasn't it? She had obviously the bug that broke out, which did that. Then they had all of the scandals from her father. And then she got pipped to the altar by her little sister. Beatrice deserves this. Beatrice and Eugenie have both taken far too much flack for my liking for their parents' choices. They have always come across as grounded, as polite, as ladylike. They have been bullied about their weight, their clothing choices. I mean, I must admit, the hat choice at Catherine and William's wedding, it wasn't about them, it was just the hats. Oh, I would have sued that hat maker, seriously. But other than that, I mean, they do so much work for charities. Eugenie's done so much for raising awareness for scoliosis because she had the operation herself as a child. She deliberately had her wedding dress designed so you could see her scar. She's proud of it. And they haven't done anything wrong apart from grow up. They didn't ask to be born princesses, but they've never cashed in on it. They have both worked, they both went to school, they both have jobs. So I'm really happy for both of them. I think they've both married well, Jack and Eugenie, and then Beatrice. So let's get on to Beatrice's dress. The dress was loaned to her from the Queen. I mean, how much more special could you do that? The wedding apparently was thrown together quickly in a space of 2 weeks. As I said, they kept it quiet. Probably, to be fair, they kept it quiet. So a certain someone couldn't announce her next pregnancy, or just upstage. You know it was going to happen. To be honest with you, there was a story that ran the next day after Beatrice's wedding came out in the papers. And it was one of Meghan's friends from Pretty Little Liars, which I haven't watched, managed to bring up a story, bearing in mind they got married in 2018 and had a kid since, about how she was terrified how the royal family would view her fascinator. Well, isn't that fascinating? And if that was the best way that they could bring Harry and Meghan's wedding up, I mean, over it, goodbye, bugger off. As I said, I do think that they were kept in the quiet about it, because don't you guys think that Meghan would have done something? She would have released pictures from a while ago. We might have had an Archie picture. I mean, she might have even just re-released more pictures that we never saw of her wedding day. She can't help herself. Look what she did to Eugenie's wedding. The other theory I have is I think Catherine and William were there. There's a reason why they only showed photographs of the Queen and Philip outside. One, because it was such a beautiful monumental occasion. They were absolutely abiding by COVID rules, which was sad because a lot of Edoardo's family who are in Italy could not come. But I've got this inkling that William and Catherine were there, but they stayed out of the wedding pictures, because could you imagine if they had gone and been invited to go, what Harry and Meghan would have done with that, what the media would have done about that. So anyway, we've got this most beautiful bride, and I think she looked like Ariel when she got married to Eric. Eduardo's got the kind of like that, the same hair as Eric. You've got Beatrice, that gorgeous long red hair, and she had the puffball sleeves, like very Disney princess, added to the Queen's dress, because you don't show your shoulders generally in church. And it was vintage, it was rustic, those flowers were divine and to die for. There was something that was so romantic about this wedding. I absolutely loved it. It made me go all gooey. And I'm really hoping, in a way, it sets a trend off again for smaller weddings. Yes, I know everyone wants these, you know, these huge weddings. They want everyone to see it. But I've had friends that have put themselves thousands, they don't even own their own house, their mortgage, and they'll spend 30, 40, 50,000 pounds. I've been to a 50,000 pound wedding, and they'd hired out this huge manor house, which still of it was part of a hotel. And no one was in the huge ballroom where they had the cake. They had to keep calling people in long enough to get pictures. There was so much room. People didn't stick together. People had their own cliques. They were all off different areas. They were in the grounds. And you lost that kind of personal bit to it. My husband and I, we crammed everyone into, I think it was a 16th century old previous stagecoach sort of place. Absolutely stunning. But it was small. There was nowhere to go. There was nowhere to walk to. There was no pubs. There was nothing. So everyone had to mingle. And it really, really worked, because people didn't have a choice. And our wedding cost about £5,000 in total. And as I said, I've been to huge, you know, 50, 20, 30,000 pound weddings. And it just, weddings used to be like that. I've seen pictures of my mum getting married, my grandparents getting married, and it was just few close friends, few close family. It's about you as a couple getting married. It's about you two tying the knot and just being in love and committing yourselves to each other. Beatrice and Edoardo's wedding was just, as I said, I loved Eugenie's and Jack's wedding because I found it genuine. It was a proper princess wedding. She's been with him for years. They're very much in love. Gorgeous, gorgeous pictures. Catherine and William, very regal wedding. But, you know, they're going to be king and queen consorts. And it was beautifully done. Again, you could tell that they were absolutely in love. And Beatrice did want a bigger wedding. Everything went against it. And it just goes to show that they just wanted to get married. It wasn't about the pomp and all of the security and everything. They just were so in love. They just wanted to do it. And it just warms my heart. It really does. So I'm super, super happy about theirs. I don't like to talk about the other wedding because I thought it was a sham from the start. I could see it going wrong, as could most people. As I said in the previous video, my mum sat there. I went, Mum, he's doing it. She went, oh, I didn't think he'd do it. We were all expecting the night before a news exclusive. Prince Harry pulls out of the wedding or something. But no, he went ahead with it. But, you know, he's made his bed, or someone else made his bed, and he's going to lie in it. Marry in haste, repent in leisure, people. But as for another wonderful thing that Beatrice and Edoardo did, they didn't release the wedding pictures until Sunday. The reason they did this is pure class. Captain Tom Moore, who I spoke about in previous videos, the veteran wartime hero that managed to raise £33 million for the NHS by doing laps around his nursing home in his Zimmer frame. He was knighted by the Queen. It makes my blood go. It gets my little arm hairs coming up. But he was actually knighted. The Queen did the ceremony straight after she had been to Beatrice's and Edoardo's wedding. It was very, very cute. Captain Tom did apologise to the Queen and said, I'd love to get on my knees, but I won't get back up. How adorable is that? You see the Queen knighting him here. And wow, just for a man to reach that point in his life, to be one of the last few veterans that we still have, that we're blessed to still have, that fought in World War II. And I think it is an absolutely amazing, amazing story, and he's now a knight, and he's being very humble about it. He doesn't want to be called Sir Tom or Sir Captain Tom. Just wants to be known as Tom still. And Edoardo and Beatrice let him have that moment because they knew if they released the pictures, that would overshadow it. Now, that to me is a true princess. That to me is absolutely classy. And I love the way that they've done this royal wedding. And to finish it off, the tiara made it all the more special for me. The tiara was a gift from the Queen. It was Queen Mary's, and then the Queen herself wore it on her wedding day to Prince Philip. And not only that, Princess Anne wore it on her wedding day. Talk about how to make your granddaughter's day special. Vintage dress, a beautiful tiara worn by the Queen herself. The Queen and Philip look the happiest that I've seen them in a long time. Philip, thankfully, looks the healthiest I've seen him in a long time. So just all in all, I just wanted to do this joyful video before I then go on to more of my normal sort of stuff. I'm going to be popping out videos to you obviously all this week, but I just wanted to share this really happy one because it made me all gooey and fluffy. So I'll be back with you guys very soon because I've got some stories to tell you. Right, so I'll see you later, guys. Bye.
If you like my video, please remember to like and subscribe. Please angry typists, you will be blocked, so save your fingers the time. If you would like to buy me a coffee, please go to my About page and click the link. Love, Taz.